Welcome back to another client product walkthrough. I'm Lucas, this is Mo. She's our social media guru, so she's behind the scenes running all of our social media pages, and she's here today wearing the exciting all-new women's Sedona adventure gear. This is a jacket and a pant. You'll notice the pant is a little bit of like a hybrid in the boot, not in the boot pant, and all we mean by that is most of the time you're gonna wear it in the boot, but it is long enough to not like show half your leg if you're wearing just like short hiker type boots like the Outlander boot or something like that. So it's long enough to wear with like casual boots, casual shoes, but you're gonna run it in the boot if you have any kind of off-road or adventure boots on. Let's jump into this really quick. First things first, this is a warm weather focused, fair weather focused adventure piece. It's not fully open mesh, but there's a lot of mesh and a lot of vents going on here, and it's not Gore-Tex. So it's gonna be very comfortable in a large variety of conditions, exception being if it's raining. Make sure you bring an extra shell like the forecast or a stowaway or an eclipse or something like that in case it is raining or if it's really cold. But this will get you through a whole lot of different weather conditions from kind of chilly all the way to very warm. So let's break it down. Let's check this out. First things first, four-way stretch nylon. All this light colored material here, it's all very stretchy, very comfortable. Give you a lot of mobility, a lot of comfort, a lot of flexibility. Let you put a lot of stuff in those pockets because the pockets can billow out so you can bring whatever you want to bring. And then we have some more durable materials across the shoulders and the elbows. You'll notice some specially designed mesh cuts here. These are like permanent vents, which we don't do very often. This is a very, very unique piece for us, actually. We have adjustable vents and full-time vents like this one right here with the mesh. Here you can see more easily those reflective hits and then also the durable areas. Now, while we're here, this greenish material here is actually the same. It's on the sides and it's on the elbows and the underarms. It's also in the pants. That's the same 1000 denier Cordura stretch micro mesh that we use in the women's Marrakesh gear, okay? So that's gonna flow, not a ton of air like full open mesh, but it's also not like a fully closed weave. So it's kind of like seep air through it very comfortably. It's very good for a large range of conditions, and it has stretch to it. So as you can probably tell, a lot of stretch, a lot of comfort, a lot of kind of warm weather accommodations going on in this piece. If you wanna turn around a little bit, Mo, we can show some more. You can see this whole back area here, all stretch, lots of comfort. And then of course we have a gusseted back pocket here. You can put in gloves, whatever extra things you want to put in a back pocket here, maps, whatever. Let's talk about some adjustment features here. We got biceps, forearms, wrist vent here. So that way you can open it as a wrist vent and also put gloves on and then close it back up. So that's going to give you some adjustment features here. Velcro wrist cuffs, waist adjustment here across the middle of the torso. And then down at the bottom, a zippered gusset as well. So you can really fine tune this jacket to fit however you need it to fit. And one more thing on comfort up here, you can see how that collar kind of cuts in. We do that on a lot of our warm weather jackets because we don't need it to be super waterproof up against your helmet almost. We can let it cut down like that and be much more comfortable in the warm weather. So let's jump into pockets next. Lots of pockets going on here. Stack card pocket here on the left hand, on the left wrist. And then two lower hand pockets there with the zipper, with the stretch material there, so you can really put whatever you want to bring in there, snacks, wallet, phone, all kinds of stuff. And then two upper chest pockets. So we got 4 pockets on the front there, and then that one additional pocket on the back, so lots of pockets going on. Anyways, we're gonna jump to the inside in a second, but first, we're gonna run through all the vents here. We talked about those wrist vents that serve as an adjustment feature as well. Then you also have 2 upper bicep vents. And then we also have those 2 chest pockets that we mentioned earlier will also function as vents. Those will flow in a bunch of air like over your fairing and then into the top of the jacket. All right, so now let's jump to the inside of the jacket. Now that we've seen the outside and the vents and the pockets and everything, now we have 3 pockets on the inside. 2 of them are zippered, as you can see there. Then one of them is like a drop pocket. You can just drop earplugs or chapstick or whatever you want to access quickly into the top of the jacket there. And now you can also see this mesh liner here. That's gonna wick sweat away, get it into the air where it can evaporate more quickly, keep you cool. You're hearing a lot of stories here about this, keeping you cool. That's the big thing here. We want to stay cool and comfortable in those hot weather conditions because those are very demanding. Before we jump to the pants, we also have our lower hem adjustment to cinch it up. And in this case, that would be if it's getting cold, close up all the vents, cinch up the hem, zip up your jacket, and try to warm up and put on a warmer layer for those cold weather conditions. So we're trying to build this as a very versatile piece without it being fully built up with Gore-Tex and everything else. Now let's jump to the pants. We'll be right back. All right, we're back with the pants here. Now you can see more of that same light color material here. That's all 4-way stretch nylon. So give you a lot of comfort across the front of the pants, the side, the top, the back yoke there, which is kind of the top of the hip area, and then of course on the side of the legs. So the other fabrics you see here are this darker colored green here on the hip, and then also on the back of the leg there. That's again that same 1000 denier Cordura stretch material, that micro mesh material that we also have in the women's Marrakesh jacket. So it's very durable, but it's also stretchy and it flows some air. So we're getting some airflow through the pants. And then now, speaking of airflow, let's look at the vents here. There's 2 upper thigh vents that are that lighter color green zipper, and that's going to flow a bunch of air through those vents, keep you cool, and of course you can close those up if it gets colder. Just below those we have pockets, and the pockets, of course, nice, easy to access angled zipper, so you can access it whether you're sitting or standing. It's kind of a hybrid construction there, and then those pockets are also that stretch material, so they're going to conform to whatever you throw in your pockets. And they're gusseted as well, so they can actually hold quite a lot of stuff. We like having gussets on the pockets. It lets them hold more without being like billowed out the front. They can kind of just fill up. I don't know if that makes sense. Also here on the top of the leg, if you bend your knee, you'll see that mesh. So when you're in your like a bent knee riding position, this mesh will also open up and flow even more air. We're trying to make this a really hot weather comfortable piece here. So we're accomplishing it with adjustable vents and vents like this that are kind of full-time vents, so to speak. So they'll flow air pretty much all the time. Now, while we're down here at the knee, we're going to talk about these durable fabrics. There's durable fabrics on the knee and on the seat as well. These are so you have more durability for abrasion, for crashing, for sliding, stuff like that. It's on the seat and the knee, like I said. Or when we talk about abrasion protection, we talk about safety. We also talk about armor. The pants come with CE Level 1 knee and hip armor. It's upgradable to Level 2. So if you want to get thicker, heavier, more protective pads, you can get those Level 2 pads. And that's the same for the jacket. The jacket comes with CE Level 1 shoulder, elbow, and back armor. And of course, you can upgrade that to Level 2 if you wish. And then one more thing I did forget is we actually do also have those vents in the back here if you want to open those up for us. So we also have those same kind of full-time mesh vents that are on the front of the knee, also on the back of the knee. So it's going to be much more comfortable, flow a ton of air as you're sitting on the bike. It's a very important riding position to get airflow in when you're sitting down, because not all jackets and not all pants are able to actually flow air when you're sitting down. They just flow air like hanging on the mannequin. So we did a lot of stuff to make this a very ergonomic, very comfortable riding kit for you. Keep you comfortable in the heat, make it versatile to bring you into some colder temperatures, and then of course you can pair it with mid layers, warmer base layers, windproof, waterproof stuff as well to really bring you pretty much across 4 seasons of riding. So that is pretty much everything, as you can tell, for the all new women's Sedona jacket and pant. If you have any questions, hit us up in the comments. Mo will be the one responding to you. And of course, find us on all the social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. If it's on the internet, we're probably on there. So find us, hang out with us, hit us up in the comments. Like I said, if you have any questions, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.